fuck you, GarageBand.
Yeah, fuck you indeed, GarageBand.
Okay.
We had some great commentary, ladies and gentlemen. GarageBand crashed. We're back here again.
Don't you just love it when you're in the middle of like a 34.5-minute session, and then suddenly, as soon as you're done recording that session, you look in your computer screen and it says GarageBand had an unexpected error. All of that conversation was lost.
So in the meanwhile, we're back here again.
Yeah.
Anyway, what you gotta do here is count whatever the hell goes in there. This guy will ask you which one of the 3 comes in. So, how many... What did you do here? I saw 3 go in.
So, Chocobo? Yeah, I don't know. Because it's one of those things where you have to pay attention to every single thing that goes inside the damn house.
It ain't that hard to do in hindsight.
It's not that hard to do, but I was rather tired when I was recording this.
Having to beat the game repeatedly with every character will probably do that to you.
Oh, no, actually, well, the time...
Oh no, bomb, 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 bomb! There's a bomb going in the house! Get the bomb out! That party's gonna be raising the roof.
The roof will indeed be on fire.
This roof! Oh, damn, there goes my joke.
Anyway, you can fail as many times as you like on this puzzle. The reward will always be a Mega Elixir.
Is that it for Rosa's Straw? That was fast.
Yep, that was.
Bitchin'. Stay tuned next time for Cecil's part.
Alright.
So what are we doing here?
Alright, this particular puzzle here, this guy is looking for a book called Mysidian History. And what you need to do is you need to talk to all the NPCs around the area to get clues to lead you to where the book is located.
Once upon a time, a dark night blew the shit out of our city. No, wait, that's Mist. Mysidia. Once upon a time, a dark night shanked everybody.
God damn. It's a shank, he doesn't even use his sword.
Doink, doink.
He was also a Tomberry. Alright,
I would love to see a parody of Tom Berry now that I think of it. I've been thinking about it ever since Final Fantasy X. Like they become a bit of a mafia, and then you have to get called on to meet the head. You call on me on this, the day of my daughter's wedding. I am the Don Tonberry. How are you doing?
Don Tonberry.
Yeah. and then like one of the characters just starts laughing at how absurd the whole thing is. Then he gets dragged out back, and then he's doinked to death.
Complete with doink.
I hope you have a phoenix down. Hey, we found it in the middle of a fucking library. Thank goodness for us. Stools, white-haired mage,
Lustful Lolly Low,
Anal Fantasy 8. I don't know if that exists. For the love of God, I hope it don't.
The subscription's 3 years old. Okay.
Is this Rosa's Straw though?
No, this is not. These are all randomly generated trials.
Johnny's taking a moment here to record everything.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Notice anyone that has a keen ear will listen to the music fading. That's me writing down the numbers so I can get all these without fail.
Honestly, I wouldn't blame you for doing that. I think I have some degree of apraxia or dypraxia myself.
Yeah.
Which is a nice way of saying your short-term memory's gotten shot to shit.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I have that every once in a while myself.
No, short-term memory shot to shit, as in your short-term memory is not working anymore.
Oh, so you had no short-term memory, period.
Pretty
like
much,
that,
but like I said,
like
it's
that
very...
Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah. Except, you know, not funny at all.
Well, no, actually, I don't
Much
really
like an Adam Sandler movie. Let's try again.
I don't really like that Adam Sandler movie, actually.
Which movie was that?
I think it was the one with him and Drew Barrymore.
51st Dates?
Was it First Date?
Yeah, 51st Dates, but that's
51st
not
Dates.
apraxia. That's actually a legitimate mental disorder.
No, but she lost her short-term memory.
Short and long-term.
No, she only had long-term. Because she remembers enough so she has a daily routine.
Oh, okay.
But she can't retain anything from... everything that she did that day was immediately lost by the time she woke up.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she had no short-term memory whatsoever.
I thought it was a bit of heartwarming at the end, how he decided to try to accommodate to her needs. That was really good.
It was more bittersweet than anything.
No, because he got the girl he wanted to get, and he was able to make the means to make it work for her, so I thought that was a bit heartwarming.
Yeah.
Overall, the movie wasn't good, but I thought that was still a good scene I can't take away from it.
But imagine, though, she'd be freaked out when she said, you know, she has no short-term memory, and then she suddenly wakes up 9 months pregnant.
Yeah, right? No, because he has to alter the tape every time.
Yeah.
But that's what you have to do sometimes when you have somebody with a real-life mental disability. You gotta build around them, and you'll find that it's hard to live with, but it's not impossible.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough about 51st Dates, because all Johnny did never was press fucking numbers. We're gonna take a good night's sleep on the moon, and we're gonna go back into the next trial, I hope.
And the music cue for this one is Rydia, so the next trial is Rydia's. I actually hear Rydia's name was actually a mistranslation of Lydia.
Whatever.
Which wouldn't be... I wouldn't be surprised, actually.
Remember that I don't think Japanese have L's, so...
Yeah, so that's
whatever.
probably why, but...
But like I said, it's a case of whatever, you know?
I actually
think of it like
Rydia
this.
more than Lydia.
Like this, for example. Remember Final Fantasy VII? Barrett came off as a normal spoken African-American guy, but what we got is kind of like a bastardization parody of Mr. T. but I think it worked in Final Fantasy VII's favor as well because it conveyed Barrett's character differently. Like, he was a guy who was so emotional and passionate about what he wanted to say, but he wasn't quite articulate with his words, so it came out a bit blunter. And I liked that characterization of him for it.
So anyway, we stepped into the damn fog, and Rydia de-aged. So,
Hey Rosa, I lost 7 years of my life!
what's your secret?
Anyway, as a little tyke again, she actually gets her white magic back, correct?
Yeah, she gets a few of her white magic spells back.
So we got Mist Kraken and Mist Summoner.
Yeah.
Mist Summoner looks like Cranny Faggot from one of those Dragon Guard games.
You brought that in the previous recording, and just to bring this up again, because I know the recording session failed, but repeat that name again?
Cranny Faggot.
Faggot. What exactly?
I'm trying to remember the name of the game. I saw it on Dark Id's Let's Play though, and I swear I flipped my shit as much as he did in the caption. I was like, "Wow!" And to quote the Dark Id himself, "You may as well have given me a name like Hot Coleman, and it's John Smith in comparison."
I don't know. I don't even know how to react to that.
I do. What the fuck?
Yeah. All the random encounters in this particular dungeon are mist creatures. You get the Mist Summoner and you get the Mist Kraken. There's also a Mist Eagle.
Storm Eagle?
Pretty much it's pretty much a recolored cockatrice enemy.
So basically, we have to fight mini bosses here, which are all the summons,
all the
plot relevant summons that Rydia lost.
Yeah, well, that includes Shiva, Ramuh, Titan, and Ifrit. I think she gets to keep the Mist Dragon, and she keeps all the optional summons too. So she still has Leviathan, Bahamut, and Asura in her team.
But can she summon?
She can she can still summon.
Okay, cool.
I just don't want to.
No, no real point. Most of the first 4 guys here are pretty much a case of elemental rock paper scissors.
Yeah. So would you rather cast something that does 9999 that costs 90 MP, or something that costs 30 MP?
Exactly. Why Kiraja that much on like? I hardly got hit, dude.
Say what?
And I'm the paranoid one. You're casting Kiraja on somebody who only loses like 200 HP.
Hello. I like to be really safe. I like seeing my numbers green.
Okay. You know, that's a very petty but very good answer. Like how I do in Final Fantasy XII, vitality before violence.
Yeah. Anyway, just for clarification, you see Edward's new command is Chant.
Which is Mighty Guard.
Which we established last part was cast, Protect, and Shell, which you can cast up to 5 times to stack up.
Very helpful.
It is actually very
useful.
helpful. Yeah. You know, that's actually one of the things I like to do with Edward now.
Shiva looks like she's practicing a ninja sign.
Yeah.
And she's out.
Yeah. Okay, so we got Shiva back.
We did? I thought she just sort of evaporated into the tiny triangles.
Back into our pockets.
I hate to see where she hides Titan.
Actually, the concept that this dungeon is running off is pretty much beating the shit out of the summons to get them back in our party. Something that
Johnny, can I ask you a question and spoil it for me here now? Is the boss here Mist Dragon?
Well, you know that from the previous recording session, bet.
Well, I would hate to see it that Rydia is fighting her mother, doubly so with like Cecil at her side.
It doesn't count.
That'd be some weird shit though.
So,
hey, I remember you! You sided with my son's murderer!
Actually, I look at this now and I can't help but see Hulk now with purple hair.
I see Hulk with like a really bad skin defection.
And by that you mean the horns off the head and the shoulders?
The horns coming out of his freaking horns coming out of his goddamn shoulders, yeah. Nice boots though.
He shouts big and tall.
By the way, Ifrit has a unique sprite animation in this game. If you let him live long enough, he does something called Rocket Fist, where he launches a colossal fart on fire and it propels him right into another character, slamming him for 6,000 damage.
Yeti would make Umaru from
Look
6
out.
would make this a natural attack. Oh, he's getting ready to blow. Actually, no. But despite him looking fucking tense there, he only does that little miniature blaze attack, which really won't do anything to us.
Right.
Ifrit, I actually think, is the easiest of the 4 summons we have to fight.
Because Ifrit's generally not really a hard challenge to overcome to begin with anyway.
No.
First summon you beat down in Final Fantasy VIII. The first summon you get in Final Fantasy 7. One of the first summons you get in Final Fantasy 6.
One of the first summons you fight in 6, yeah.
My apologies. What I mean by get, I mean the ones you go out of your way for.
Same thing. Same thing.
Yeah. Because I'll be asked if I count Ketchi as a fucking summon. Give me Hellfire. Don't give me fucking Tinkerbell. Doot, 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 doot. Boy, I'm lucky I know where the hell I'm going in this place. In my dreams, I see that restless town. Silent Hill. You speak as if you know me. Come on, you geezer. You would
Ramu, come back. You're drunk. Yeah, I'm pretty much doing every battle with Chant now.
Why not? It's fucking Mighty Guard. That's like saying, gee, let me make this fight harder.
I don't like a challenge.
Well, I do the same thing in Final Fantasy 12. Like, every gambit, all my gambits are pretty much set up with ultimate defense in mind, unless I got Bosch for berserking.
Yeah. This is Ramu's, he's thunder-based, but pretty much, I just like the non-elemental.
Young's pissed.
Young is pissed, he's actually showing off deadly.
No, it ain't even that. Young's looking at Ramu going, you're gonna challenge my hair with that? You think you got better hair, son? Oh no, that shit's on.
Yeah, he's attacking out of jealousy, or?
I think it's out of respect, like 2 manly men showing off their beards and Young going, sir, I'd be dishonored if I didn't fight you with everything I had.
Well, look at one of the strands of Ramu's beard. He's actually just like, he's doing like some sort of bring it sign.
Yeah. Damn.
That's actually, I think, Ramu's most powerful attack, Thunderbolt. It's single target, but, you know, single target exposures are the most powerful.
That's generally the trade-off in earlier Final Fantasies. It's not up to later Final Fantasies. You hit them all, but you hit them all for reduced damage.
Yeah. Unless they're weak to it, which actually is not really a bad trade-off at all.
No, there's still a damage trade-off. Yeah. But if the HP's low enough, then it don't bother.
Yeah.
Yang can't use magic.
No.
And you wasted it twice on everybody else before you realized, hey, I could just use it once on to get a full heal.
I have the MP to spare.
I have the money to spare. Doesn't mean I waste it either.
So one thing I love about these trials, though, is that every time you beat one, you can go right back to the save point and use a cottage. So
true, but given the levels you have and the abilities you have, it's not really necessary.
Very true.
Besides, it ain't like the enemies here are really hitting you so hard, are they?
No, they won't. We won't actually be encountering anything dangerous until we get to the later half of the Lunar Ruins. In the meantime, we're just fighting monsters that we already previously encountered in other
and the summons
and the summon creatures, who are really no match at all because.
So Titan here, aside from being an advocate of big red chewing gum,
is offering us another arm wrestling competition.
Yeah. Yang doesn't find him nearly as threatening though, so instead they're just gonna beat him down.
Yeah.
Did you ever happen to see Titan in Final Fantasy 13?
Titan? No.
Colossal.
Well, he should be. He's Titan.
No, I'm talking fucking huge. Makes Adamantoises just look like shit.
He's bigger than the Adamantoise?
Oh yeah. Way bigger.
How the fuck do you fight him?
You don't.
Are you fighting his toenail?
No. That'd be some shit though.
It's like the Kratos fight in God of War 3.
If Final Fantasy 13 did that at least once, where you had to fight him all like God of War style there, then God knows I probably would have played 13 over and over again just for that.
The fight with his toenail.
Exactly. No, just so you climb all over him like that. That would have been a good fight.
You have to pull his pubic hair.
And you got Hope committing suicide because he can't do it. Holy shit!
Yeah, this is the reason why I cast a float on everybody before this, well, as this dungeon begun, because Titan is
a colossal fart.
He's a joke, really.
Yeah, that's generally the bane of Earth summons ever since we had float.
It's just weird because, you know, the first lunar summon we fought was Lunar Titan. It's like, okay, now we offer you a second challenge, an even weaker version of Titan.
Well, that depends if you go after Lunar Titan first.
It's true. If you don't have Yang in your party, you can't enter the dungeon at all. So you're right.
And you never would have had to pay DLC for that. I'll be damned if there's $50 missing from my debit account because of that fight, Johnny.
You're right. Actually, you know what? If this game came out a few years later, that these trials would be DLC.
Exactly. So now who are we fighting?
Alright, since we got all 4 of our summons back, now we have to face against the Lunar Summon of this trial, which
Evil Mommy?
is, yeah,
Oh no.
the Lunar Dragon, which has a lot of HP. And it pretty much incorporates all the gimmicks of the original Mist Dragon. Every once in a while it will transform into Mist, in which you cannot damage it at all.
You know what? If it transformed into Mist, that would be it, because you have no idea where the hell anything is.
Yeah. We can walk through it like you said last time.
Too bad we don't have defog. That was the one thing Generation 4 brought into Pokemon.
I hated that H-up.
Yeah, I did too. That's the downside to Gen 4, I can admit to, because I hated that. So, Lunar Dragon. Now it's... Cecil, what are you doing?
More lunar.
You know what, Cecil's like, gee, you think I would have learned this from earlier? Rydia, I know that Rydia's probably having like PTSD or something. Mommy! So you know you can hit it, and I take it you did all these just as it transformed into Mist?
Yeah, no, actually, I'm doing Bahamut here just to test out to see if I can still damage it with the summon watts like that. Nope. It's about the equivalent of swinging at Mist.
Yeah. Although eventually Mist dissipates.
She can't control herself.
What if you just walked right through it and called it a day?
Just like part 1.
Exactly. 2.
Was it part 2?
2 we got. 2 actually. 2 we met the Mist Dragon.
Oh, nostalgia.
Yeah. Oh, the countless fuck-ups.
Including this part.
Yeah.
Fuck you, GarageBand. Seriously.
Johnny, I don't like your attitude. GarageBand closed.
Oh, fuck you. Alright. Anyway, besides that, though, the only thing Lunar Dragon really adds to the move pool is the poison and sleep gas.
Well, that's actually kind of lovely in a way.
It's... I don't think so, because poison gas targets everybody, but everybody here is already rocking equipment that makes them immune to poison, except for Edward. And
as evidence there, because he's trying to barf in midair.
Yeah, he needs a moment. He's getting airsick. But, the sleep gas is only a single target.
Oh. Which basically, I can imagine that going about as it's swirling all around the character. Good night.
Yeah. The only thing really annoying about Lunar Dragon is that she has the ability to heal herself for maximum. So
Quad 9s.
It's gonna always go heal herself for Quad 9s, yeah.
Although that does add a legitimate degree of challenge to it, because honestly, I would kind of hate to have a boss do white magic for shit healing.
You think prolonging the fight is equal to challenge?
Johnny, I mean, let's face it. There's a difference between prolonging the fight by stupid means and prolonging the fight because it has the intelligence to actually use white magic.
Well, the only reason why I think it's more detracting here is because everything else she does doesn't really do anything to me.
But at the same time, it's still an intelligent move for a beast to want to heal itself up. I mean,
it's very true.
Like I'm saying, this isn't like Final Fantasy XII where your fight gets delayed because the boss out of nowhere pulls an invincibility paling out his ass and you're waiting for 5 fucking minutes.
You want to share that story?
Oh yeah, repeatedly. There's quite a few bosses in the game that have certain automatic defense buffs, like they'll reduce the damage you do, or they'll reduce the damage they take, or something like that.
Yeah.
Combining that with some odd bosses that throw up invincibility palings just for the hell of it, which sends you on a completely defensive spiral throughout the game, which really takes time. I don't mind a boss that heals itself. I don't mind a boss that drains my MP or resources. I don't mind a boss that's evasive. I hate the fucking invincibility bullshit out of nowhere. I hate that.
Yeah.
And sadly, that's one of the few things I do wish people would hate legitimately about 12. Why I hate 9? You should love 9. Do it! Love it, or I'll fucking spank you!
Oh, this thing's still alive.
Son of a bitch, and I just started to spank you all.
Nope.
That was about as effective as casting time magic on a Mist Dragon.
Oh, but it's magic.
Magic usually does defeat magic, but what you need to hear is a fucking vacuum cleaner. Call Luigi.
Luigi counted as a ghost?
Yeah. No, I just counted as something that could fit inside the vacuum. Although, can you imagine Luigi having done that in the fucking Mysidia? Or before Mysidia? Look, Rydia, I got your mommy.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Now, I heard in Dark Moon 2, or Luigi's Mansion, they actually have Mario and Luigi having dialogue.
Yeah, they actually speak to each other at the end of the game.
About fucking time.
It's weird.
No, you know what it is? No, because you know what? It's about time. I know Nintendo and Evolution go hand in hand as, say, fucking vinegar and honey, but in all fairness, it's like, Let him evolve for once.
I know
different.
it's weird, but at the same time, it's only weird because it's them attempting conversation.
Let him do it. How long did they go without conversation?
It's
about time they
something
did
other than the gibberish they say in Mario and Luigi.
Well, I was getting tired of the fucking Banjo-Kazooie degree of dialogue, which I can honestly see Final Fantasy doing if they were remade under their current leadership, which is going to be terrible. Can you imagine that scene? Queen Brane being all like, Garnet, I'm dying. I'm so sorry for everything I've done. Now you must take the throne. Powerful scene. Now imagine the current heads at Square Enix redoing that scene. Mother, please don't die! And then Queen Brana just has the fucking fart talk from Banjo-Tooie.
I don't understand your dialect.
Exactly. They just have her sound... They'll have the actors drink a lot of milk and have her sound really fat. It'll be disgusting. But I heard Yoichi...
Here's your cookies, here's your milk, and we're hot.
Yeah. By the way, what's the mist ring do?
The mist ring increases the power of the Mist Dragon summon.
Okay.
Which I don't very use often because that's what Bahamut's for.
Okay. So, what else was I going to add into that? Shit, never mind. Whatever it was, couldn't have been that important.
Anyway, we have this room here. This guy's looking for the Platinum Toad. We need to look for it.
Platinum Toad.
A Platinum Toad, who is visible on the map. So
Invisible?
No, he's visible on the map.
Oh, sorry. I was thinking of Final Fantasy 12 a while back.
But the moment he appears on the screen, you have a limited time to actually touch him before he disappears.
What was your excuse that time?
I wasn't mashing X fast enough. You actually have to mash X next to him. You have to technically try and talk to the Toad.
Oh, okay. Cecil talks to Toads?
Yeah.
I'll believe it. Final Fantasy 12, you get an item called the Clockatrice Feather?
Yeah.
That'll allow you to talk to some of the cockatrices.
Cluck, cluck, cluck.
Yeah, I always make fun of that. Because every time I go to Jahar to talk to one of the cockatrices that's there,
yeah.
I like to imagine the grief surrounding Vaughn and going, "This here young boy has the mind of the chicken. We shall thereby dub him Vaughn talks to cocks." And then everybody just starts laughing at him.
Cock, cock, cock.
Like I said, I have a very weird imagination when it comes to some games, so it makes my experiences a lot better.
The battle with the Platinum Toad is very similar to the Golden Toad fight that I showed off in the Cave of Trials. You want to begin the battle off by using a Silver Hourglass with the spell Stop, just to get it from stop moving, because it will retreat after 2 attacks.
Yeah.
And then you just have to find it again on the map. But you can't leave this area until you defeat the Platinum Toad, so... Well, it's only a matter of time for you to defeat it, actually.
That's one Ronin Toadin.
The Platinum Toad doesn't really do anything besides the Toad spell.
Oh boy, this area again. So who are we talking to here?
Alright, this area, the gimmick of this one is that you got a lot of these encounters that are blocking the pathway. You can ignore most of them just to get out of it, but if you want to get all the treasure, you pretty much have to fight them all.
Well, fuck us.
The battles really aren't anything we've haven't encountered before, except the new guy over here is Bomb King.
Hi there.
But he spends most of his time doing Faraga spells than self-destructing. There are a few other new random encounters in this area, but most of the time it's just bombs and the occasional skeleton, which we fought way back at Mount Hobbs.
How do you think 4 bombs fit under a cloak like that?
Magic.
Okay.
So,
like I said, I've seen a sea serpent conjure itself up as an old man. After that, you could sell me on magic at this point. I don't care.
For the sake of getting things moving on, I'm editing out all these battles, which makes the room go by a hell of a lot faster. Hey.
High five. Oh man.
Imagine Cecil scaring the shit out of someone with that. It's approaching enemy from the behind. Hey, high five.
So whatchamacallit, the Bomb Kings don't do self-destruct, right?
As far as I'm aware, they don't. They never have done it on me. They always just spend their time using Faraga.
Reminds me of Final Fantasy X. The Bomb King creature in the original Species Conquest?
Oh, yeah.
Or is it Species Conquest? Basically what they did is like...
Conquest. The originals are the...
You inflate them 4 times and then Ultima.
Yeah.
But usually I got him dead before then.
Ain't that some shit.
So who's this asshole?
Chaos Knight. Pretty much a recolor of the Centaur Knight.
Does he control chaos?
No, he's not control. You cannot control chaos. It's not chaos if it can be controlled.
Remember, he's Chaos Knight. He's the knave of the chaos.
He's an agent of chaos.
Garaja.
That's one of the new encounters you can fight here. There's also another recolor of the Arachnid woman monster that we fought way back in the Fey March. But I think she's pretty much the same as the other one. As long as you have float on you, she can't really hurt you.
Sucks. It sucks to be Earth magic in this game. Float
Yeah.
float just makes you trivial. That's a fair trade-off, I suppose. Not a lot of enemies in here really float.
The chest and the item we got on that was the Oster's Rod, but we can't equip that to anybody because it belongs to Paladin.
Fuck.
Anyway, so here's one of the 2 shops you can run into in the Lunar Ruins. This one is the less substantial one because this one's really only good for resting at the inn for your free recharge.
For old time's sake, did you happen to transform Cecil into a pig?
No.
Damn. Hello there, sir. I am the pig and the Baron. I need to partake of your resting.
I've
please.
heard stories.
Everything is out the fuck. Ooh, elixirs.
You can buy elixirs here, but the second store that we'll be actually visiting later on sells mega elixirs
Okay.
for I think about 600,000 gil.
Now,
Luckily, I'm more than capable enough of buying mega elixirs, but I don't think I will be buying. No, I think I might be buying at least 4.
No
For the
shurikens?
fuck of it. No shurikens, because actually, when I was grinding Flam Princesses for the adamant armor, which I wasn't sure if it was the fucked up recording session or the last recording session that I mentioned that I actually did get for Cecil. Pink Puffs also drop elixirs and Fuma shurikens, and they have a higher percent rate than Pink Tails. So I ended up getting over like 20 elixirs and like 20 to 25 Fuma shurikens. So I have enough of those for Edge to throw when we get him in our party.
and now it's Cecil's trial.
Cecil's trial. We need to prove ourselves as a true paladin because fuck you, Mount Ordeals didn't count.
So what do we got to do here? Are we slaying an evil beast?
No, we're just being goody two shoes.
I would hope so. I mean, you better have a real good excuse for being a paladin if you're doing necromancy.
So anyway, all the trials that Cecil must conquer are randomly generated. In this one, you have this goblin creature who swears that he's a human that had a curse put on him. He's actually telling the truth. So for this battle, do absolutely nothing.
That's one of those grand cliches of role-playing games. If you meet a little cat that says he's an ancient red dragon, 66% chance he's telling the truth.
But if that cat wants a diamond, don't give it to him.
Yeah, I gave him a coin of thievery.
Give me a diamond. Will this grenade help? I don't know.
I gave him thievery and a dragon's crest.
Damn. Was it maxed out?
Oh, absolutely.
Not thievery, Dragon's Quest.
Oh, I maxed that out too.
Oh, okay.
The easiest way to do that is just to grind the Serpian dragons near the Kuz Marsh, because I really don't like over leveling in that game. As a matter of fact, anytime I ever really grinded in Final Fantasy IX was just to get the abilities up.
The only time I ever went for, in terms of overkill, in terms of grinding, is when I had Quinn learn level 5 Death, and I used that to farm the Grand Dragons.
That's kind of what you're supposed to do in terms of leveling up.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, like I said, I really don't like leveling up too much in that game until I have to go kill Ozma. So
Yeah.
ultimately, like I said, I just pretty much, just grind abilities. Meanwhile, these kids are smacking a pig around. Excuse me. Smacking the bacon they are. Which are convinced is fat girls. It's having sex with a fat girl.
God damn it. It's gross. Anyway, to be a good at 2 shows here, we have to show that bullying is wrong.
I remember this. I know this pig. It reminds me of myself a few levels ago.
You reminded me when I was a little pig.
Nothing. Wow, these children know prejudice. Lovely.
Yeah, it's just as simple as talking to all these kids and getting the stuff.
What's the pig got to say?
The pig will just simply thank you.
I know I've given Cecil a lot of shit just for being like a jinx and all, but really Cecil is my favorite hero of all Final Fantasies.
Pretty much any trial that has a character saying, I'm looking for this, or I'm putting this here, don't take it, pretty much requires you to pretty much heed their advice and don't do that sort of thing.
Yeah.
You know, like the old man we had in the trial about 2 rooms ago saying, I'm looking for a golden apple. You find the golden apple and you give it to him and then you pass the trial. So this one's actually pretty boring. This particular guardsman needs to be home because his wife is about to have a baby, but he can't leave his post. So he's asking Cecil to take over his duties just temporarily. The catch is we can't do anything. We have to stay still.
Like the British Royal Guards?
Yeah.
Or but you got the British Royal Guard stereotype?
Yeah.
Okay.
More accurate to the stereotype.
Okay.
We can't do anything. We're just standing here. If you move at all, you just fidget with the D-pad at all, you lose a trial.
So basically get out some light reading.
Yeah, because this actually, I think, clocks in about a minute.
You edit this out?
No, because it's part of the trial. Can't show it off.
Woo! Oh man, this is some pulse-pounding gameplay.
Academy Award-winning Cecil Harvey in The Guardsman. A whole hour and a half of him standing still.
That would get him. That would get him a fucking treasure too.
Starring Chocobo. Chocobo shit. Guardsman number 2. Rydia, the Chocobo, picking up his Chocobo shit.
That was the Chocobo's understudy.
His turd?
Yeah. No, the Chocobo that picked up the treasure. And this would have cost me the trial. This would have cost me the trial because I would have thought as a paladin I would go after it and help that guy out, but apparently it's an illusion, correct?
And starring Sean Bean as the person who's going to die in the film.
Except, no, he didn't die in Silent Hill, though I wish he did. It would have given this character some fucking relevance. So now that guy gave birth to that guy's wife gave birth to a healthy squid.
You would think that proving your worthiness as a paladin would mean going to save that guy's ass, but no, that's all just an illusion. For the moment you move while you're on post, it fades to black and the trial is over.
So who's this guy?
This guy is just leaving this item next to this wife's gravestone.
The Mega Elixir.
Put it here.
It's like
touching.
It's paying homage to the spirits.
Yeah.
Remember that time, baby? Me and you had a Mega Elixir, got so goddamn toasted. Next thing I knew, I was waking up next to a dragon, and you were pretty much unconscious. Oh, good times.
Honey, I knew how much you loved this Phoenix down. And that's why I hid it away from you until you croaked.
Oh, no.
Anyway, so if you pass all the trials, you get the Lightbringer, Cecil's ultimate weapon.
I almost thought you would have gotten the toy hammer. Trollololol.
If you fuck up any trials, you don't get the Lightbringer.
Lightbringer, as you said before, does sword damage and it does holy once in a while.
And it has a random chance of casting holy.
Gnarly. So
it's pretty much this game's way of breaking the damage cap.
Oh shit, Odin!
Lunar Odin, who begins the battle with Zantetsuken. If you're fast enough, you can get some spells done before he actually swings it at you. So what I would recommend, if you got Edward in your party, you should. Cast.
I never thought we'd hear that statement in a sentence.
You should
have Edward in your party.
Yeah, I know. Have Edward cast Chant to absorb some of the damage that Zantetsuken will do. I would have Rosa cast Slow on Lunar Odin, because you're going to get hit by Zantetsuken no matter what, ladies and gentlemen. And what I'm doing with Rydia there is casting Thundaga on Lunar Odin. Because you see, if this battle actually goes 8 turns after casting Thundaga, Lunar Odin will die. You'll get a message saying that lightning is coursing through Lunar Odin's veins, and he will croak.
Honestly, I still consider that a freaking homage to Final Fantasy VI.
It has to be a homage to some sort of lore in general.
No, because every time I keep thinking Odin weak to lightning, I keep thinking that Odin got his ass split. The Odin statue got replaced with the Rydia summon in Final Fantasy VI.
Yeah.
At least that's what I think.
Well, no. In Final Fantasy VI, Odin became Raiden when the Odin Magicite was... when a tear from his wife's statue touched the Odin Magicite. Then it became
right,
Raiden.
but you know... But Raiden is usually a form of... is usually a name given to an electrical deity.
Yeah. Well, actually, now that I think about it, when you summon Raiden, it begins with Thunderbolt. So, yeah, you're probably right with it.
It could be, I'm just saying.
Anyway, so the reason why I would mention you cast Slow on Lunar Odin, because...
It slows down the amount. It slows them down so that you don't have to get hit with Zantetsuken almost every turn.
Well, not
giving
just
you a chance to regenerate your health.
Well, not just that. Here's one thing you want to watch out for. If the moment you see Lunar Odin cast Haste, you better hope you have enough HP for the upcoming turn, because when Lunar Odin's casting Haste, he's preparing a double Zantetsuken, which you will most likely not survive.
But then again, you have Yang in his magnificent chest, so he'll just go, Zantetsuken? You mean butter knife?
Double Zantetsuken? Oh, let me think there.
Let me get my toast ready.
With a slide of cheese.
High five for the Lord Odin.
Summon low.
It's over.
Damn Skippy. Okay, we have completed Cecil's trial, ladies and gentlemen.
And GarageBand did not crash.
Oh, thank God.
So next time we see us, it'll be part 25.
2 more trials, next part. As soon as we save. Fuck.
I hate mistiming the ending.
Final Fantasy X HD, coming out, international version.
Oh, fuck, really?
Now we get to experience the Dark Aeons.
Yeah, something I was always asking for. Woo, I want to get my ass kicked.
I was always curious, actually. I also want to fight Penance, too.
Alright.